Nestico and Reddick. Heard in a car? Call KNR.
All right, we are going to be watching for a couple more opportunities for some showers and storms to work back into the forecast, not only this weekend, but potentially into the early part of this next week as well. We've got a stronger cold front that comes through by the middle part of the work week, and that will finally usher in some quieter and much drier weather for us as well. In the short term, though, should we see any showers and storms develop, ones that especially get a little bit more organized, you may get some gusty winds out of it, maybe some smaller hail in the mix as well. But really, our main concern, as it has been when we've had these heavier tropical-like downpours, it's going to be that heavy rain potential that could lead to some spots of isolated flooding. So that's one of our bigger concerns that we'll watch, especially headed into the second half of the weekend. Quite a bit of lightning that we're seeing from our new Philadelphia camera this evening. This is like the one storm that we have here across northeast Ohio. We've had a couple other stray lightning strikes with a couple of these showers that have moved out of Stark County, but for the most part, things are relatively quiet. This is the only storm that really has any type of good punch to it. You'll notice it's not severe, no severe thunderstorm warning out of this. Certainly a lot of heavy rainfall, potentially a little bit of that smaller hail in the mix. So this is between Canton as well as Dover and New Philly, pushing east now at this point of I-77, but it has about 41 lightning strikes, and we're seeing that tick up, which means it is still maintaining some of that strength and some of that organization. So we'll keep an eye on that storm here as we go through the rest of our 11 o'clock newscast. Outside of that, though, things are relatively quiet. We've got some light rain that's working in, a couple more showers out towards southeastern Michigan, and that may keep that rain chance alive for us, especially as we head into the overnight. I don't anticipate everybody seeing rain at all times through the night, but you'll see on your future view, it's possible we have a few of those spotty showers lingering with us through the overnight, headed into the early hours of your Sunday. This is all associated with a very weak cold front that's rolling through. I promise it doesn't do much to your temperature. It's still going to be warm. It's still going to be very humid as we go through the day tomorrow. The only thing this front is really going to be efficient in doing is helping to provide a slightly better focus for a few showers and maybe a couple thunderstorms as we progress through the later hours of Sunday morning and head into the early hours of the afternoon. That's about the biggest impact we're going to see. Eventually that front starts to wash out, so it doesn't really do much for us. Again, in terms of giving us a whole lot of relief, I hate to even call it a cold front because it really doesn't dip your temperature much at all. Maybe you get some lower 70s back in the mix headed into early Monday morning, along with a little bit more of that fog. But the big story headed into the early part of this next week is that the heat is returning. Temperatures Monday into Tuesday going to be back into the lower 90s. Factor in all of that mugginess in the air because it's still going to feel just as humid early this next week. It's going to push those heat index values mid to upper 90s, if not close to that triple-digit point. What we will watch on Monday is potentially a slightly better opportunity that we could see some showers and storms in the mix. That's why there's the storm icon for Monday, not so much on Tuesday. Main reason for that, heat dome starts to push a little farther to the east. I think it will keep us a little bit quieter as we get into your Tuesday afternoon. But by Wednesday, the cold front starts to come in. That's going to generate some of those scattered showers and storms. And then we get the nice little bit of relief through the end of the week, headed into the early part of this next weekend. Overnights, 50s to 60s, and those daytime highs back into the middle 70s. We'll talk a little bit more about this bigger pattern flip next week, coming up in the next half hour.